Amy and Mark had just bought a brand new electric car. It was the first major investment the couple had purchased, so they took it out for a spin in the vast countryside. After a couple of hours, a warning light on the dashboard began to flash, and Mark pulled over as the engine cut out. "I just don't know what's wrong," said Mark. "My phone has no signal. We need to find help," replied Amy. The couple started to walk up a dirt track into the woods. Mark wasn't keen on leaving the car, but Amy insisted they needed to find help.
"Why don't I go back to the road and wait for a passing car? You take a short walk up the dirt track, and if you find nothing, come back to me."
The couple agreed, and Amy strode off. Time seemed to pass quickly, and the dark of the night bathed the area in blackness. Just about to give up, there was a glimmer of hope as Amy saw a light in the distance. Her pace quickened, and a smile swept across her face.
At last, now I can get help.
An old house came into view, but as she got closer, the lights went out. She thought that perhaps the people who lived there had just retired for the night. "Just in time," she muttered to herself as she strode up to the door and knocked. There was no answer, and the door, once thought locked, opened slightly. Amy popped her head inside and shouted, "Hello, anyone here?" Nobody answered. Amy walked around the house downstairs, shouting to gain attention, but there was no one there. Exhausted, she sat down on the staircase, assuming there was an electrical fault that turned the lights on and off. Suddenly, a light came on in the room next to her. She stood up and walked over to see if anyone had heard her. But she wasn't prepared for what she saw. Amy screamed, turned and ran. She bolted for the door, but it seemed to take an eternity to reach the entrance. The sound of the evil within the house closed in on her with every footstep. Finally, she was free of the house. Amy ran, and as she turned to see if she was being followed, she saw it. That thing. It was behind her, closing in as it crawled through the thick mud between the house and the woods. And then the worst happened. She tripped and sprained her ankle. She writhed through the mud along the path, the demon right behind her. The pain was intense, but Amy knew to stay still was going to be fatal.
Keep going.